We got to get into it. And the Detroit Lions, and it happened last night under the cover of darkness. All of a sudden, the bomb was dropped on us. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, torn pec muscle, likely out for the year. At least I think it's fair to say a very significant amount of time. Josh Paschal already on IR. James Houston being evaluated to see if he needs ankle surgery. He's out till at least November in the best case scenario. I don't know what to do, D-Mac. And look, we discussed, I will say this, our audience, to some degree, we discussed this in the preseason. When we put together all these prognostications and all how we feel good and everything like that, what was the first thing I tempered, D-Mac? This is the National Football League. You will take on attrition.
You have to. You have no choice. I mean, you say it all the time. Availability is the best ability and stuff like this. Now it's next man up. I mean, you're no different than what other teams are going through and having to fight through. And, you know, we see Kansas City short, you know, first game of the year. Now we're going into our third game, second home game against an Atlanta team who, for lack of a better term, we can agree is sort of like the Utah, right, of professional sports where no matter what, when you go in there and you play them, you leave and you go, man, there's a bruise there and a bruise there, meaning that, you know, you were in a game. So it doesn't get any easier. But again, here's the thing. This is what they're being built for, right, is the attrition, Neil. I feel like there's opportunity there. And Allen Park, it's the positivity about next guy up. Who's going to step up and make this difference? Now, we don't know about Taylor Decker. We don't know about, you know, different guys, how they're gonna come and if they're gonna start on Sunday. But big deal. Other teams are dealing with it too. You just got to be ready to play, and they got to be better throughout the ball from the coach down. Coaching's got to be better. Play calling's got to be better. Tackling's got to be better. All this stuff. It doesn't get any easier. You're starting to get. This is what it's about. But that's because you have a team that you have expectations for.
And here's like. Obviously, the attrition sucks and the injuries suck and things like that. But they are going to play on Sunday at 1 o'clock. The Falcons are going to fly here and everything, and they're going to play at 1 o'clock no matter what, no matter who's available, who's not available. But, D-Mac, I kind of take the attitude of I dive into this and look, say, okay, Brian Branch, and I don't like where we're going with this. And I'll land the plane in a minute. I'll circle back to that. Brian Branch, development is no longer a luxury for Brian Branch. It's your show now.
That's it.
You're in. And guess what? You need to ball
Trial
out.
by fire. And you know what? If there's anybody out there on that defense that I'm looking at that I want trial by fire, and you know, and from what I've seen, Jack Campbell needs to be out here every play, but Brian, he's ready for it. We've been told he's ready from what we've seen early on, from camp, from everything else. This is a young guy, young rookie that throw him in the fire, and I think that he'll be ready for it. Now, does that mean that he's going to be flawless and perfect? No. But nobody is. But you know what? With what he brings to the table, I think that this is going to help out. He's going to get that education real quick, and I'm confident in him. And you know what? This is the silver lining. Next man up, and you have a guy to get up. Another guy that we're forgetting about because he didn't play last year, Tracy Walker.
I'm going to get to that in a second.
Right? And I saw a great quote by him just saying, is if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. And that's the attitude that the rest of these guys who weren't starting, who have the ability to start and to jump into plays, have to be ready for.
Right. And Jay Single says, Neil, are you having any doubts with Aaron Glenn? I know a lot of people are. And look, that happens across the NFL. That is not unique to Detroit. There are a good 20 to 23 franchises that have that same conversation depending on how the game goes.
And by what week will all of these teams? Like if one or two teams squeaks through with not having an injury of losing a guy for a game or something like that, that's remarkable. So everybody will face this predicament.
Yeah, well, as far as the Aaron Glenn thing goes, like I don't look at it too deeply because what's the alternative? You see what I'm saying? Like, well, so what are you gonna fire Aaron Glenn after Sunday? Then what?
Ridiculous.
It's not happening. It's
You
not
can't.
happening.
That doesn't happen during
we got
season.
enough to deal with right now as Lions fans without having to think about
Now, does his play calling and do we got to be more aggressive? Because, I know.
You know
that
what?
If I was Atlanta, no, but be more aggressive, I think, not on the line, but in pushing up to the receivers. Because what did we see? Do you see the stats on the tight ends?
Yeah, but D-Max, see, here's the thing with that, and my bad yesterday. I didn't really get into this a lot, and I should have, and I was thinking about it today when I was on the treadmill, as a matter of fact. I did a poor job yesterday of that, and I'm glad you brought up Aaron Glenn, because here's what I noticed when I watched that game against the Seahawks. Because I heard people say that. Like, at what point do you change some stuff? When do you blitz? They blitz, D-Mac.
No,
the Seahawks picked it up every single time.
So they got to be better with that. And I'm not talking about the blitz. I'm talking about press coverage to the tight ends who ran wild. And Geno Smith was 12 for 12 for 169 yards. And, like stuff like this. What? Look at the passing plays at the pylons, the outs and stuff that we could not stop.
Yeah.
It's that in between. No, they got to get better. And we all to get to the quarterback. I mean, dude, Geno Smith, we've made look like an all-pro every time he's played. He's never tell me when Geno Smith's been uncomfortable playing the Lions defense. Right? One time when Anzalone almost sacked him for a safety on a 30-yard loss when he was scrambling. Right? One time we got to him. I mean, it was a key time, and it gives you confidence that you can maybe get it again. But that's the whole thing. So I think yes, we need more pressure, and I think everybody expected us to be in the backfield and making Geno Smith more comfortable. But I think on the tight ends, making it tougher on the tight ends and those receivers and those easy little dip dunk plays that everybody's get frustrated on.
Yeah, Bob's big boy. J-Mo and Gibbs being non-factors at back-to-back first-round picks has really put the franchise in a pickle. Well, I like that when people say put it in a pickle. Watching Pickens ball out last night and watching Bijan and Swift ball out could only add to it. Yeah, but Bob, I kind of called out the people that were really blasting Dan Campbell about the fourth down thing. There is not a person that watches this network. There were no dissenters. There were maybe two dissenters of the draft. Because we ran the polls, D-Mac, remember? Are you comfortable with this rookie here? 88% of you, yes. 94% of you, yes. So everybody was on board with it, man. There were no dissenters. And I don't... Look, they played 2 games. And Jack Campbell, by all accounts, was very good in the first game. Not as much in the second game. Guess what he is? A rookie. And if you're in a spot where you're counting on hitting rookie parlays, ask Tiger fans last year how the rookie parlays work. They don't. They don't. They never have. They never will. And they're so tempting, I know. It's like BMG. Firing off those bets. Those cross prop sport parlays. He loves them. 46-1. Can't lose, right, BMG?
Right. Every time. Got to do it.
I know. They look good on paper. But again, though, going back to it, it's just for me, and I'm glad that you brought up Tracy Walker, D-Mac, because I don't want to call it a lack of involvement in the game plan. I don't want to call it that. But let's be real. He's not what he was pre-injury. Because what he was pre-injury was a borderline Pro Bowler. Fair?
Agreed.
He is not.
But here's the thing, too, is that...
He doesn't seem to be at that level.
No, it doesn't seem to be at that level, because if he was at that level, he'd be out
there.
But, again, is it something that being as serious as the injury and missing a year and stuff like this, does he need that time? The more time that he gets reps in practice and the more times, reps in games and stuff like this coming as a backup, now he's going to have to be a starter. Is that going to get him back into it? So, the veteran... I like what I'm hearing from him, and here's the thing, Neil. You don't have any other choice. And this is a better choice than what a lot of teams have if their top guys went down.
Right.
Show us.
And again, too, Steve says, we don't know what he is, though, Neil. We haven't seen him play much because he hasn't needed to. But they do practice every single day, and that's how they draw their conclusions on it. And I am concerned about the Tracy Walker thing. I am. Because he was a high-level player before his injury. And my heart breaks for that. I wish he didn't get injured. But at the same time, you're going to get some clarity on what Tracy Walker is now going forward. Because after this season, his contract flips. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start getting in that cap release situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's time. He's got to walk. He's got to show it. Rose said it best, BMG, as you just played it.
Show us.
It's time. And is it what everybody wanted? No. But this is the situation we're in. Like, I know these are hard questions, and somebody will say, well, Neil, you're kind of being hard on Tracy Walker.
No.
But this is what it is. This is the National Football League.
But here's the thing. If I'm Tracy Walker and I'm a professional player, this is the opportunity that I want, right? Because I got to show myself, right? And there's still questions I'm sure he has coming back, but no other better way than get out there and do it under fire. Right, instead of sitting, waiting, stuff like this. You know, maybe for the team it would have been better, but right now we'll see what we got.
Yeah, so it's time now. And if you're a good team, you find a way to win. Did the Chiefs have their fastball against Jacksonville? No, they didn't. They found a way to win. And there are a whole lot of teams that are sitting at 0-2 right now that nobody expected to be 0-2 that are going to be going into the fight right now. And look, guys, on Sunday, when you wanna get your bearings and find out where you're going to be with the Detroit Lions, you can get your inside scoop with the Woodward and Main show featuring Gabby D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and of course Detroit legend Terry Foster. Sundays 8 a.m. Start your kickoff Sunday morning at 8 a.m. with Woodward Sports. They have another episode on Tuesdays at 7 a.m. The most in-depth reporting and breakdown of the game, the players, and all things Detroit Lions. Go to YouTube, type in Woodward Sports, click subscribe, and you are in there. And again, D-Mac, is it unfortunate? Yes, it is. But this is the reality now. I want everybody to understand that. And things change quickly around this football league.
Absolutely. Now, the silver lining is the fact that, you know, the Minnesotas and the Chicagos and the Green Bays did what they did. So the fact that you still are in control of your division. So, again, but I'll say it a million times, right? It's having that the availability. So now, are these some of these backups and some of the stuff that putting this roster together that Brad Holmes has done? We're going to see it now.
Yeah. Jace Ingles, well, Neil, with the Aaron Glenn thing, just last year we fired our OC and Ben Johnson emerged. Yeah, we didn't do it the second game of the season. No franchise in the world's doing that, guys. It's not going to happen. You got to let that play out. You just do. And nobody was mad the second half of the season last year, sans the Carolina game.